What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Ryan Corcoran. I'm an entrepreneur, a real estate investor. If you are not new here, thank you very much for tuning in, checking out another video. Hopefully you guys can learn something from this video. Before we start, please hit the like button and the subscribe button. It really helps spread this video to other people, more people, so people can learn how to become financially free through real estate investing as I have. All right, today we're gonna get into the nitty-gritty details of direct mail marketing. Specifically, we're going to talk about my favorite list to pull for certain types of properties. First of all, if you know me, if you've followed along in my videos, we do multifamily, we do flips, typically of multifamily, sometimes single family. We're doing a little bit of development right now, we wholesale a little bit, and most of these leads come from direct mail. Okay, and so we're just going to go through the system that I use, how I get the leads, what I plug in for criteria, how I source the leads, how I qualify these leads, how to follow up, etc., etc. This is going to be a pretty in-depth video. After this video, you should be able to go implement these exact steps on your own and start getting leads. Okay, all right, so step number one, download Google Voice on your phone. It is free. It'll create a phone number for you. And so every time you send a direct mail letter out, when somebody calls you back, it's going to get wired to that number, which is going to be on your phone. But when you slide to answer that phone, it's going to tell you who's calling. You have the option to send it to voicemail, etc., etc. More importantly, you're not giving out your personal cell phone number to these individuals. After we have a Google Voice downloaded, next it's, okay, where are we going to invest? What type of property? That I can't really help you with. You have to pick on your own. I like multifamily. Benefits of, there's so many different benefits, but more importantly, you know, if rentals cover everything, all the debt service, and you're making money at the end of the day, and the market crashes, you've got a lot of safety net in there. But anyway, so we're going to talk about multifamily specifically today, but it could be anything. You could do single family, commercial, industrial, retail, Airbnbs, right? Any of that. Okay, Google Voice, check. Number two, what system are we going to use to get these lists? Now, it could be CoStar, Crexi, PropStream, ListSource. There's a bunch of them. And essentially what these do is you pay either on a monthly basis or you pay per list based on how many leads you want to pull. I really enjoy CoStar for your 10, 12, 30, 100 unit properties. PropStream is really good for condos, single families, small multis, up to 6 or 8 units or so. Crexi is similar to CoStar, ListSource similar to PropStream. They're all fairly accurate, but you will notice that some of them are inaccurate, but for the most part, they are accurate. I believe it's like a 99% accuracy rate across them. There are some other ones called Reonomy, and I'm actually going to test that one out. I did a sample of it, and I didn't hate it. It gives you a lot of good information for commercial real estate, but we'll see. So we're going to talk about PropStream today. And because PropStream, I believe I pay $100 a month. I don't even remember how much it is. It's not that much. And so you can generate up to 10,000 leads a month, which is quite a lot. And so I picked PropStream. I also have CoStar and a couple other ones, but we're going to focus on PropStream today. So let's just recap. We've got a Google Voice. We're now using PropStream. Next, pick your criteria. Now this I can't really help you with. This is going to totally depend on what you are picking for your niche in real estate. We're going to talk about multifamily. So we're going to do my favorite lists that I have found that work the best are: number one, non-owner occupied buildings, so absentee. Number two, we do not want it to be on the MLS. Number three, we want to select multifamily 5+ units if that's what you're going for, or multifamily 2 to 4, whatever you're going for. I like 5+ units, so we're going to go multifamily 5+. Then we're going to go over to the the bathroom count, and we're going to make sure we put a minimum of 5. Now we are almost double crossing that we have, okay, we want 5 units, but we need to make sure there's 5 bathrooms to ensure there's actually 5 units. It's just a way to weed out some of the 4 families that get stuck in there. Some of the office buildings with retail and apartments in them, right? So if you really have to understand what you're trying to get at here. The next section, we're going to go down to equity. So equity, I like to have 30% equity or more, because if you think about it, if somebody's got 5% equity, they don't have much wiggle room, right? And so when they bought that property, whatever the price they bought it at, if they only have 5% equity off of that price, you likely aren't going to be able to get a good deal off that. Now, I'm not saying you can't. There are circumstances where you might, but there is a much greater likelihood you'll be able to get a deal below market value if somebody has more equity in it, because they'd be willing to take that offer versus somebody who doesn't have the ability to even do that. Next, after equity, we're gonna go to type of owner. This is where, depending on what you're trying to target, if you're looking to target professional people, you're gonna keep corporations, LLCs, businesses in there. I like to target mom and pops, especially for the smaller multi, your 5-6 unit property. And so I put it to individual owners only. Now that gets rid of all the LLCs, all the corporations, any business that owns a property, it weeds them out. So now you're gonna have a smaller list of just individual owners. Now, this is a general list, but to be honest with you, it shouldn't be that big. It could be a couple hundred, maybe 1,000 at this point. I would start with that. I've had a lot of success with that list. I've done it all across New Hampshire, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, Georgia, Florida. We've really done it everywhere, and I've gotten a ton of warm leads from that list. This is specifically on multifamily, so please keep that in mind. Some of them do cross over to single family for the flipping side, and some do cross over for the commercial size real estate. But please just keep in mind that we're talking about 5+ unit, 5, 6, 7, 8 unit properties right now. That is the best list in my opinion, at least in my market, that's working the best. Okay, next you have to have a CRM. I use Pipedrive. So essentially, every time someone calls me, a lead gets inputted into the CRM. I set a 3-month follow-up with every single lead that goes in there, whether it's warm, cold, hot, it doesn't matter. If it's a hot lead, I also have a follow-up a week later. Okay, and you're able to take notes on all this, you're able to automate everything, automate emails. It's an absolute must to have a CRM. If you do not have a CRM, a bunch of deals are gonna fall through the cracks, you're gonna forget about stuff, you're gonna forget about conversations. Absolute must have for this. And lastly, how do you manage all this stuff when you're sending a ton of letters out? So I actually hired a virtual assistant. So everything we just talked about, she handles all of that. Okay, so the mailings, the sending them out, the taking input, putting it into CRMs, right? And then if it's a warm lead, then I take over. I don't have enough time to do all that stuff. Now when I started, I certainly did do it all. In fact, this printer right here, I didn't have this 3 years ago. And so when I first started 4 years ago, I was handwriting every single letter out and sending them, right? And it's impossible. Now I hire out to Open Thunder Marketing in Lawrence, Massachusetts. There's some other ones. But there's a ton of them, but I like them the best. You're able to negotiate with them. They're super fair. They're local to me. And yeah, so that's really the summary of how I run my direct mail business very efficiently, and it works really well. I mean, we've purchased 17 properties this year just on off-market properties from direct mail. It's crazy. Life-changing, guys. Please, if this video was helpful, if you learned anything, I would really appreciate it if you liked and subscribed to the channel. Even if you don't watch all the videos, please subscribe to the channel, because what that does is it pushes this video out to a bunch more people that otherwise wouldn't get to see it. And my hope is that as these videos keep accumulating, people are able to learn stuff from them, take some information from it, go apply, and become millionaires on their own. Thank you. Until next time.